much did you know about me before you wrote that story?
Your story is just literally every line. I mean, seriously.
And just seeing that happen again in your story, well, that's just, that can't be a coincidence, obviously.
That's fantastic. Wow.
So there's some pieces of that story that are quite profound and are right in reality.
Shariah said, "I want my light to shine, Jasmine." Jasmine kissed Shariah's forehead and said, "Glow. Let your glory shine. You're worthy, Shariah." Therefore, Shariah turned away from her magical mentor and faced the dark forest before her.
Jurri, it's just incredible. It's so Holy Spirit inspired. And that's why it moves me to tears, because I just felt like he literally spoke to you. He literally spoke to you about me.
Want to know what story you're in? Discover your own tale in books written about you. Imagine a library in heaven that contains books with stories written about you and me. These stories could be in any genre, from fantasy, mystery, action-adventure, or romance. Do you want to know what story you're in?
I love that you are using what you have in a powerful way to reach people that's outside of the box.
Yeah.
You're using your skill set to lower the wall that would keep people from wanting to receive, and you're releasing what you have in a way that can be received by someone who doesn't yet know the love of God.
Yeah.
And I really commend you for that. It is a forerunning that you are doing.
Thank you.
You're pioneering it.
Yeah.
A couple people text me, what does this mean, when I sent them the link.
Right.
I've never heard of this before. That's right, because I think Jurri's the only one doing it. And I really commend you for it.
Thank you. Marcia and Edwin, thank you.
Order a personalized, revelatory, unique story to discover the glory inside your heart. Peer into the pages of the Father. Become a legend and discover your identity and destiny here in Legends of the Wind. Click the link, order now. Hello and good evening and welcome to the Legends of the Wind podcast. I'm your host, Jurri Schenck. Thank you so much for joining us. It's a pleasure to be with you. Oh man, tonight's show could be really powerful. I'm really anticipating this story for my guest, Joy Lee. The story's titled Angle Up, and you won't know until what that means until the very end of her story. And today I wanted this story for Joy to be an absolute blessing of encouragement and strength. And so I just met her for the first time just a few minutes ago as we're getting the show started. And I'm really struck about how this story could potentially open her eyes into something new, maybe to confirm something. And that's the beauty of what a prophetic story is all about. Prophetic story is what I call fathering through film. I'm a filmmaker. I have my background is in filmmaking. And years ago, I did children's ministry at Living Faith Christian Church. And there I worked with 7, 8, 9, 10-year-old kids. And I told them prophetic stories for the very first time. It was the birthing place of Legends of the Wind. And in that time, I found my voice, fathering through film. What does that mean, fathering through film? Fathers are, I know the definition of a father through the writings of John Eldredge, who wrote Wild at Heart, Captivating, Desire, Waking the Dead, and his many books. He says that fathers bestow identity and initiate destiny. And storytelling is a perfect vehicle to do that kind of thing. You can't go up to somebody and directly tell them that they're a loved royal son or daughter of God, that they are cherished. You can tell them that, but would it really hit their heart? Because that's a direct language. But true identity, a revealed destiny, can only be revealed in truth by Holy Spirit. So if doing a direct language, because it could be the truth, they could be a wonderful, loved child of God, but they may have issues. They may not be able to receive it in their heart. How do you do it? Well, instead of telling something directly, you say it indirectly. You hide the treasure of the truth in a story. And that's the method that Jesus used in parables. Parables mean dark sayings or shadowed language. That doesn't mean it's evil. It means that it has hidden treasure waiting to be discovered. So when we read Joy's story tonight, we're asking all of you to discover and have Joy discover her hidden treasures, because there's something there to be revealed by Holy Spirit that I may not know as the one who delivers the story, but Joy can receive it from Holy Spirit. And it no longer becomes someone's opinion, it becomes an owned revelation, something that she knows that only Jesus could reveal to her heart. So that's the powerful idea of prophetic story. Jesus told stories. He was a traveling bard, a miracle worker. And whenever he spoke to the public, he was telling stories. And when he spoke with his people privately, then he interpreted those stories. So whenever he was reaching the masses, going out to the world, he was telling stories, parables. And how did he get those ideas? Where did they come from? God's revealed to me that there's a place in heaven called the Library of Heaven. And that's where he has written our stories. And so you don't have to wait till you physically die to access heaven. If you know how to pray and see God in the Spirit and know his word, then you can already see that the Bible says we are already seated in heavenly places. And that if you know that story is a different language than direct saying, and you understand narrative, then you can say, I can go to the Library of Heaven and read a book about somebody and discover things. And that's what we're going to do tonight with Joy. So that's my little introduction. Welcome to the show. If you're in the chat, please feel free to chime in. If you have any words of encouragement, revelation, aha moments, something to share, we welcome that in the conversation. So with all that said, let's bring in our guest, Joy Lee. All right. Hello, Joy. How are you?
Hi, Jurri. I'm good. I love that intro you gave. It just opens me up more.
Oh, good. Good. Thank you. Well, why don't you introduce yourself to the audience? Share a little bit about how did you find out about us and what motivated you to come seek me out for a prophetic story?
Okay, well, yeah, my name's Joy Lee, and I'm a mom of 4 adult children now. They're the oldest is 28 and down to 20, and I live right now with my husband and my mother, and we're a very full house right now. How I got introduced to the storytelling was a friend who was on the show, and I know her story. So when I listened to this creative, this kind of like tale that was woven, and I could see how it was opening things about her her story that that I knew, and how it was touching her. And I think I was just curious. I wondered how relevant it would be for me. And I was curious because the story is really creative, and it was so different from other ways of maybe receiving encouragements from God. So I wanted to just try it out, and yeah, it just seemed a very different way. And the stories, there's one other story that they were just also different, and so it was just intriguing. Yeah.
Cool. Thank you. Well, just so the audience knows, have you ever met me before? Ever talked to me about your personal life at all prior to tonight?
No,
Right.
no,
No.
never met Jurri. It just a few minutes ago. So
Yeah.
getting to know him along with everybody else.
Right. Thank
Yeah.
you. Yeah. So, when people schedule a show on a weekly basis, I write the story ahead of time. I wrote this yesterday, and I don't interview ahead of time. I don't research or data mine my guests. I write it blind, and I found that by doing that out of faith and that risk taking, Jesus shows up in a powerful way for the show and for the story, for the guest. So I stick my neck out. And by God's goodness, everything has worked out. And so I'm humbled every time, every week. So yeah, thank you. Cool. Oh, I forgot to tell you the thing in the show prep, but let me tell you how to introduce. Let me tell you how to receive a prophetic story. Okay, Joy.
Okay.
All right. So a prophetic story is a revelation, and it's like a dream. It's like an encounter that's written down, and when we read the story, then afterward we have the time of interpretation. That's when we unpack the hidden treasures. And dream interpretation is a good, healthy approach to do that. And the goal, Joy, is to have a discovery of the application. Like, what is the action that Jesus is telling you in the story? Now, just as a disclaimer about this story, I don't claim to be a legal, business, financial, or therapist or anything like that. I'm here to present a story. And so whatever may be hidden in the story, it is up to you to interpret it and for you to take action should you choose. But it's not meant to be as legal advice in any way, okay? But this is so cool because it's a powerful narrative. Now, you have power, Joy, in this experience. You can say, yes, I received this prophetic story. Or no, I do not. Or you may say, I need time to process this and say, oh, that's interesting, and let me ponder it some more. So I will be emailing you your prophetic story after the show. And of course, you can watch the replay if you choose to need to do that. Okay?
Okay.
So are you ready for your prophetic story? Do you know what time it is?
Story time.
It's story time. Awesome. Well, here we go. All right. Angle up. The power of the in-between place had Joy marveling at all her experiences in the spirit. Not only that, her personal vision to see and achieve her dreams kept knocking at her heart. Was it time to see fruition? Was it time for the power of manifestation? What about the favor she desired? All things in love and war are fair game, said her friend. Will you give yourself the power of permission to achieve and agree with heaven, the dream? Joy kept looking at the clock as she saw the sun setting on the horizon. Her heart beat faster and faster. One day, Joy sat on a park bench on the edge of the sidewalk, watching the construction of a new house across the street. The builders had been working hard, setting up the 2x4 frameworks for many days. Joy felt great pleasure during her lunch breaks while watching the edifice come to life. She was a visionary and needed a builder, but all the pieces she had in her head needed a manufacturer. As Joy watched the laborers continue, she wondered and wondered about synchronizing things. She knew she only had 15 minutes left on her lunch break, and then she had to return to the office. All things considered, her position there was relatively easy and humdrum, but there wasn't the thrill she was seeking there. All the people were wonderful, and she had nothing negative to say about them. Her job was safe. Joy wondered about taking the plunge. There were some projects and plans she kept hidden away. She said to herself, "This is so good. It's too good to be true." The ideas she carried were so precious to her, and seeing them unfold was a whole other tale. Stories, she said. There are so many stories I can tell. The heart of the truth and the heart of the matter. Who would believe the stories if I told them? Marketing and manufacturing go hand in hand, said Joy. You need to build an audience and build a show. You need to build a house and start a business. The forms are unique, but the building process may not repeat. However, they do rhyme. Joy clocked out of the office and went down the street to get her late afternoon latte. It was a reward for her surviving the week. She didn't fully realize her Friday night plans, so perhaps a restful evening watching Korean dramas might be in store. At the coffee shop, Joy waited in line. In front of her was Alex, a tall man who was strong in stature and seemed to be very much about business. His suit was nice, and he carried a fancy briefcase. His shoes were indeed not from the dime store. Joy watched him and how he carried himself. He was calm, collected, and sure. There was strength within his soul. After he placed his order, he gave a generous tip in the jar, and with a small smile, he stepped aside to wait for his drink. Alex looked at his watch and breathed deeply in thought. Joy could see he was not in a hurry and wanted to relax. She placed her order too and stood next to him while the baristas kept making drinks for the drive-through customers. The coffee shop was understaffed today and overwhelmed with business. "They work so hard, don't they?" asked Joy to Alex. He smiled and nodded, saying, "They deserve a raise." "What is your office? What line of work are you up to?" "I'm down the street at this marketing firm," inquired Joy. She knew she had to make the first move in the conversation to begin, and this was highly unusual for her to do so. But there was something in the atmosphere she sensed. "Estate properties, mostly commercial, some residential," replied Alex. "I manage other managers." "Oh, that sounds wonderful," said Joy. She felt such peace around him. "I'm Alex. And you are?" "Joy, it's a pleasure to meet you." "The pleasure's mine. Is that your latte? I think your drink was made before me." "Oh, I'm so sorry," expressed Joy. "Not a problem. Here, let's sit together," offered the man. Soon the barista presented Alex's drink, and they sat down at a round, tall table. The conversation began, and the exchange of information and ideas about each other's businesses were eye-opening, even for both of them. Joy gained some courage and thanked Alex for the transparency of his business practices. But she said, "I've been wondering about no longer playing safe." Before Joy was going to open this door, she took stock of her spirit's discernment and the peace she felt. This divine appointment was in front of her, and she recognized a timely opportunity. There were secret treasures in her heart, and they were bouncing, shaking, and even shouting in her soul, wanting release. Joy didn't know what to do. "Is playing it safe making you feel satisfied?" asked Alex. "Hardly," replied Joy. "You know the old saying, 'Listen to your heart'?" asked Alex. "Perhaps your heartbeat will say something more," he continued. Joy couldn't believe her ears. This man of opportunity came at the most random moment, and his conversation allowed her to press into new ideas and let the buried dreams in her soul surface. Joy made a crucial decision. "It's now or never," she said to Alex. She continued, "Some men die dreaming but never doing." Alex smiled with a sparkle in his eye and leaned back with a satisfying awareness. Joy watched his posture and energy change. After a moment, he leaned forward with a powerful stance and asked, "Do you know where on earth resides the largest amount of unused potential?" Joy shook her head and said, "No. Where?" "Graveyards. You said it yourself," said the man. Joy saw there was agreement here. She understood the decision she was in the middle of making. A nervous energy of butterflies in her stomach appeared. Was it excitement or terror? "Can I do this?" she asked aloud. "Why are you asking me for permission? This is your dream and vision," replied Alex calmly. "You know the business and have the plan. You just need a builder." Joy had just learned that all the resources for her vision sat in front of her. The funds would come, yes, but the manpower and processing of the vision were out of her league. "Would you consider my vision of interest to you?" asked Joy. "I think it's fantastic, and beyond what many could think of," replied Alex. "Are you determined to go down this road?" Joy was suddenly aware she had already stepped off the cliff and was now feeling some regret and tension. Was she capable of doing this? She asked herself. Alex motioned to step away as if the conversation might end, but Joy grabbed his forearm and said, "You have said so much. Thank you." Alex replied and smiled. "You carry something important that no one else can do. It is up to you to take the plunge. I can do my part too, but the vision is the one that leads. Here's my card. Get your portfolio ready with a 10-minute presentation. Call my assistant next week, and when you're ready, I will grant you the opportunity to present to my team and my board. If they agree with your vision, things might go further. Understand?" Joy nodded her head with a nervous smile and thanked Alex as he left. The entire chance encounter and the possibility that came her way alarmed the woman. That night, Joy couldn't sleep. The dream and vision in her heart were bursting at the seams. The divine appointment actually came, and now she has an invitation to present. Her only loss is that if she doesn't follow through, the opportunity will disappear. But if she gets her ducks in a row, then who knows? The weekend blazed by in an instant, while Joy worked hard at her computer, putting all the slides and images together. Soon it was Monday, and she was on autopilot at the office, cleaning up and tweaking things on her iPad. Her normal work was simple and already done. Joy met Friday's due date by Tuesday morning. She had to wait. Wednesday came, and Joy contacted Alex's assistant, saying she was ready. She set the appointment for herself on the following Friday at 3 p.m. Joy planned to leave the office early that day for a personal reason. Time couldn't move fast enough. Finally, the presentation date arrived. Joy had her thumb drive, iPad, and handouts all ready to go as she entered the boardroom. She stood at the head of the table with a projector clicker in hand and opened her mouth as the men and women listened, with Alex sitting in the back corner watching. From the words of Joy's mouth came the essence of a powerful dream and vision to care for people with broken hearts and broken homes. They needed a new place to live and the finances to do so. This was a merger of a nonprofit working with for-profit companies. It let those whose lives faced upheaval and turmoil land the plane and settle in a home for a season. The financing would come at a lower interest rate, and the ability to get families stabilized could become a reality. It was a charity with a pathway forward that would empower others to become self-sustaining. Joy told story after story of heartbreak and people down on their luck. There was so much loss and pain. Joy wanted her name to mean something, just to give these people a sense of relief and joy amidst loss. Sometimes I hated my name. Sometimes I felt like a hypocrite because I felt ashamed or sad. I knew I came here to make a difference, and this is all I know how. If you would partner with me and catch this vision, I believe multitudes of lives will turn for the better. Thank you. Joy clicked to the last slide, and it showed a photo of her and her little dog snuggling while standing in front of a beautiful home. The logo, Joyful Living, appeared next to the image. The woman presenter wiped a small tear from her eye and looked around. One could hear a pin drop in the room if they wanted to. Joy's vision overwhelmed the team and the board's hearts. They looked at each other speechless. Finally, Alex rose and came up to the front to meet Joy. He said, "I knew that when I met Joy the other day, it was a special moment, a divine encounter. I asked her to speak this vision with you because she has a voice that needs a speaker. Please consider her words today." One set of hands clapped, and quickly everyone else joined into the applause. Joy couldn't believe the response. Alex said more. One woman's vision is not enough. She needs a team and a builder to make it happen. I move we don't delay any further on this and support this enormous, generous project. The board seconded the motion and voted in the affirmative. The building team knew exactly where to begin, and within hours, things were in motion. Joy was in shock at the timing and favor she received. Her life was about to begin. Joy was so excited she had trouble sleeping, but eventually nodded off. While she slept, she repeated the entire presentation in her dreams, along with how the people responded. But the dream didn't end with its satisfying approval. It continued to expand with more opportunities. This was only the beginning. Now the train had left the station. Joy couldn't contain herself or her plans. All things opened up, and her partnership with Alex produced the fruit she had been looking for all her life. Joy sat down at the park bench again at the edge of the sidewalk and watched the families enter their new homes. The white houses were fresh with new paint. The yards had incredible green grass, and the trees provided restful shade as well. Joy learned how to angle up her vision and make it steady and sure at last. Inceptio. So, Joy, I may have overlooked this, but your story is meant to be understood symbolically, not literally. And I don't know what I have written you, but I believe from this story, because it flowed out of me completely, there's something here that you carry. How has this story spoken to you?
There are just a lot of moments where I felt like I was really known, like I knew, like you were like God. I was being seen, and I just knew it was like I'm being seen by God. So,
Oh, wow.
yeah, it hits really deep. So it's hard to articulate like it in this at this level, but it feels like you just read my mail underneath that's buried, the buried mail. That's as best I could say. It's like you unburied all that's there and really put it out in the open. And yeah, I'm kind of amazing. Yeah, it's kind of amazing. Yeah.
Well, praise God. Can you help the conversation now? You can only say whatever you feel comfortable. I'm not going to try to have you do anything uncomfortable, but what is the story about? Like, what's speaking to you? Could you like say point to anything in the story at all? Any moment? Or in general, just some.
Yeah, I mean everything. I just laughing because my job right now. I was laughing. I was getting my latte, and my job is safe. I mean, the whole thing was funny because it really describes. It is kind of minimal right now, and it's more at the surface level. It's just kind of running a household that doesn't. It's all adults now because all the kids are grown. So it's not like it's a lot of work, but it still does take some running. But it's not. It's definitely not my what the future is, my full-time future, long-term vision kind of thing. But in the midst of that, it is dealing with a lot of deep family relational roots of things that go back in generations, and there's definitely a lot of pain and restoration that is happening at a deeper level. So even though at the surface the running stuff is minimal, there's a lot of work being done in terms of restoring things that at root levels that go, facing a lot of those things of my mom's life, who's come out of a lot of traumatic things in Korea, and kind of just dealing with them for the first time more as an adult. So all of these things have been what's been happening more at a deeper level. So when you're talking about, and then, so there's that, and then there's always been a deep down dream to maybe like write things. There is something there, stories and writing. And some of the things that have been more deeper, like starting to actually knock at the door. And I've been thinking about that a lot. And so all of that captures really accurately, like, is it the time to plunge and dive? And so each of the times that you said in your story, when the person is talking about, is it time to take the plunge, or like, the greatest potential is graveyards. Like, I mean, I felt my entire like insides kind of trembling, not so much like I'm afraid, but like there's a resonating of it is so ripe and pregnant. Like, it's been things I've been thinking about that. So when you said those, I mean, it just felt like so ripe, and kind of, I could feel myself shaking at a lot of those internal in those moments when you in those conversations, and just kind of really feeling at the precipice in a way of that.
Yeah, I mean, there's a saying, no one will make a change until they come to the precipice.
Wow. Yeah, that story was taking me to the precipice, but it was really it was allowing what was inside of me to really it's funny because you said it needs a voice, like the character in your story, Joy, needed a voice. Her voice needed to be heard, and it just all those themes were like it's even like my mom, who is a Korean immigrant and doesn't have language, and she's got all this story in her, and the roots of the trauma that that still have effects, and so they're having a voice and being able to some of these things that are deep inside to bring restoration. And I feel like it's not just for maybe not just for my family, but many families. And
okay. So I'm trying to connect, because you're actually interpreting it, but you're not giving examples from the story. So let me try to connect the dots, if that's okay.
Yeah.
So you had said immediately that you felt seen by God. That phrase has been said many, many times by my guests. Thank you, Jesus, that you said that. That this read your mail, the deep mail. I did not know who you are writing this story. I never met you before, and yet here it is. You're a mother of 4 adult children, and you're maybe at a transition time in your own life. Would it be correct, Joy, that there's a deep, deep, deep desire in your heart, a deep vision that is now showing itself in this story? And would you agree that this prophetic story might be giving you permission to act on it? To actually walk it out?
Absolutely. And when even those phrases, when the guy Alex says, you don't need my permission. I mean, my husband has said that phrase a lot through our marriage, like, you don't need permission. And so when you first said she's a visionary, I mean, I don't ever use that word to describe myself, but deep inside, I do feel that is what I am. So that's why I felt like my eyes kind of bugged out because I would never use that word. And then that's what you're saying about what you wrote about me.
Right, right.
So I felt very seen, like, this is
cool. So the story starts off, I'm going to go to the beginning here. Let me scroll up real quick. So the story starts off with some sayings. It's not narrative. It says, the power of the in-between place had Joy marveling at all her experiences in the spirit. Not only that, her personal vision to see and achieve her dreams kept knocking at her heart. Was it time to see fruition? Was it time for the power of manifestation? What about the favor she desired? All things in love and war are fair game. Will you give yourself the power of permission to achieve and agree with heaven, the dream? Joy kept looking at the clock as she saw the sun setting on the horizon. Her heart beat faster and faster. And then it goes to where you're sitting during your lunch break at the park watching a house being built. That is an interesting dream symbol. It has to do with building and having a home. A dream language shows homes or life or lives. And maybe you can add to this or correct me. God has given you the ability to see how to build lives. You understand structure and vision, but what you're lacking is the ability to have it constructed. It's like the visionary needs a builder to partner with them to make it happen. What do you think about all that?
Yeah, it all resonates. Definitely, it's a transition time. It's all my children are in their adult stage, and that's a lot what I'm asking. My role has changed, and is it time? All the things have been kind of put on hold. It's been kind of overdue in a way now.
Yes.
And it's almost like I can't really sit in the old season any longer because it's already been really overstretched.
Yeah.
In some ways. And so, looking at the clock and,
Wow. Well, I think that you mentioned that there's deep, deep mail being unearthed. I think this is a love letter from heaven for you that has been sent in that deep, deep mail package.
Yeah.
There's something beautiful that's coming. You mentioned about being like you're birthing again. That's what this is talking about. Jacqueline has several comments I want to highlight. The name Alex means guardianship, courage, and divine protection. It also, and I also know this from other shows because Alex, the name shows up in other people's stories here and there. It means defender of mankind as well. So Alex is a favorable person or an entity that is defending you and also giving you guardianship, courage, and protection. And what Jacqueline also says, an architect needs the construction crew to build his vision to pass. So I think that's a great way of putting it. Joy, you're an architect of lives. So what does that mean to you? How does that speak to you?
I actually, the thought, without really processing what hits me, I read that and it kind of felt like a yes. What hit me was where I'm architecting is more an intercession. I feel like that where things, and I have been feeling like, where is my crew to help build this thing in my home? And that's been kind of a heart cry. I like feeling kind of in tears a bit. And so, yeah, but there's also a parallel that the church I'm in, Frontier, we just have come into a new building, and there are kind of a parallel thing going, like building that space.
Okay.
And construction going on, like both, while we've been here the 2 years, it's been 2 years of working on all the deferred maintenance. So it's a lot of construction going on, and then, and will be, and then in the church space is also new building. It's a lot of renovating and will be ongoing, and also building in prayer for that space, like building that vision. So it feels like a parallel, and it is like finding that team in prayer to kind of birth in prayer, architect in prayer. That's
okay. So would you say what you just said is the application? Like, what is the action Jesus is asking you to take in response? Like, look, what do you need to do?
Yeah, actually, I don't know if that's the application. That's just the way it hit me. Like I was feeling my heart cry out for that team. Or maybe it's I don't know. That's just, I was feeling it more in the idea.
So if you don't know that, like, because the whole point is, like, you said you felt seen. It was reading your mail. It was like right on for you. And then we're trying to digest the idea of what the symbols are. And but what is Jesus asking you to do? Tom Revival just says, I think maybe building lives might be in a pastoral sense.
Yeah, I did feel that.
Yeah. So what's the? I mean, I know you're on the spot, and I get that. What do you think you should do? What's burning in your heart, Joy? What's the thing that won't go away that you want to see happen?
It's yeah, just seeing hearts get restored and brokenness, like in what I've been walking in is more this generational effects of brokenness, and seeing people start to walk in, you know, in greater wholeness. And then that,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not an instant thing, but like I could feel the joy of, like, it's almost like fostering, you know, when you
Ah.
foster people, but they're,
Mm-hmm.
and there's brokenness that comes from generational brokenness, but then you're seeing them get, you know, you're helping to walk them where they can get strong enough to be able to be, like, have strong and whole families of their own.
Yes. Good. That's it. That's it. Because in the story, page 8 says, "From the words of Joy's mouth came the essence of a powerful dream and vision to care for people with broken hearts and broken homes." Now, symbolically, they needed a new place to live and the finances to do so. Yeah, that's the audience that you're after.
Mm-hmm.
So in that sense, like what Tom Revival is saying about building lives as a pastoral sense, and that you want to see people healed, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not necessarily being an architect or in real estate or dealing with physical construction, but these things are spiritual ideas, and and that God is affirming you in them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
So be aware, Joy, that maybe in the next couple months or maybe throughout the summer, something like that, a more crystallization can come to you where things all of a start making the pieces in your mind come together. I don't expect you to have a whole business plan and presentation right at this moment, right? But the thing is, this is a love letter from Jesus, and he sees you. He knows you're in transition, and he's actually trying to prepare you for the next season. He's going to give you the ability to build what is the structures that you see in your heart to help people with broken hearts and broken homes. So maybe in the next few months or the next 6 months, something will crystallize for you. And now you can go, oh, that's what God was telling me all this time. But now there's some sort of manifestation of form for you to operate in. He's kind of giving you a heads up. Yeah. Tom Revival has another one. Let's see here. He says, real estate can mean mental real estate or mindsets. Ah, that's good. That's good. And then Jacqueline, she is cute. I'll be checking in on you through the summer. Wow. Wow. I think that's right on. I think that Jesus is giving you a heads up. He's giving you a heads up for you to be blessed. He's actually, I don't know what that says in Korean. I don't read Korean, but does that make any sense to you? I can't translate it.
Yeah, I don't really read Korean. Wait.
You want me to put it back up?
Yeah. I'm not exactly. I think it's something. I know it's something positive.
Oh, good,
It's
good. I would assume so.
uh-huh.
So the beautiful thing is, Joy, Jesus is giving you a heads up to make the transition for the next season. Mm-hmm. He sees you, and he understands the deep, deep desires in your heart. With the dynamics of your family structure changing, the maturing of your children, the other things of your family life, he's actually like, hey, a new season is coming your way, and now it's an opportunity to have a plan. That message was from my father-in-law, my Alisha. My dad says, "Have a great day," I think.
Oh, that's so wonderful.
This is my father-in-law in Korea watches.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
thank you.
감사합니다.
Right, and so he's kind of like, he said you got a prophetic story, and here it is. Now he's shining a light further down the road to you. And he's saying, this heads up is to encourage you for this transition. Because honestly, in war, when you have a group of troops in a transition, they're going from one position to another position. It's one of their most vulnerable times to be attacked. Mm-hmm. And so Jesus is coming to you at this time of transitional moment to protect you. And I think like what Alex means, divine protection, that this builder has come to you to protect you in this time of transition. And so you're going to be okay. There might be some warfare or some circumstances, but you're going to end up where you need to be, and find yourself in a safe place along the way as well. So I think this is a super encouraging story in that sense. You see, you have to unpack the hidden treasures of the story to see what God's saying, because he wants you to discover it and own it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's good.
Wow. So do you have any other thoughts about this at all? Anything you want to add to it?
I mean, just it was really encouraging. I felt like it helped. I was kind of getting a place like, where are we going? Like you forget where you, and it just reminded, and that God hasn't forgotten, and he's really leading forward. And so it was very encouraging, and just helping just me to see where I'm going. And I felt fresh just fuel that he was fueling.
Wow, that's good. Thank you.
Much.
So would you ever encourage someone to get a prophetic story?
Now that I've done it myself, those are listening, the story could just, it's a long, like very detailed, right? And so I was wondering, how is it hitting the person? But I just want to say, wow, it went deep, and I just know it's going to keep unpacking, and it really resonated. And I'd really encourage everyone to try it. Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks. Well, we're going to take a quick break and we'll come right back. But I want to help you in the audience watching about another opportunity we are presenting to you. So just a second, we'll be right back.
What if your story wasn't just ordinary? What if every chapter, every struggle, every victory was leading to something greater? What if hidden inside your journey was treasure waiting to be uncovered? At Legends of the Wind, I take your life story and turn it into a prophetic parable crafted just for you. Before we even meet, I write your story, guided by the Holy Spirit, as a prophetic parable, revealing meaning, purpose, and hidden treasure. Then we sit down together and discover what it means. Then it becomes a beautifully crafted book, something you can hold, come back to, even pass on someday. Every story is written uniquely, never templated, never repeated. This is more than a gift. It is a mirror reflecting who you truly are. Imagine discovering your identity and destiny, healing the pain of the past, and stepping confidently into your future. Have you ever wondered if your story still matters? Now you can begin your own adventure, so you can choose the experience that fits where you are right now. The Essential Experience, a private prophetic session, your personalized prophetic story. It's turned into a hardcover book, something real you can hold on to, and a few meaningful pieces you can keep, like an elegant Legends pen, bookmark, and a greeting card. For those who want to go deeper, step into the premium experience. That includes bonus items from the Essential Experience, plus an engraved leather journal, something you can continue writing your story in. A customized illustrated hardbook cover, and an autographed copy of How to Find Treasure in Your Story, your guide to pioneering the prophetic and discovering the deeper meaning in your own life. Because your story isn't just random, it's a legend waiting to be revealed. Right now, for a limited time, you can choose the Essential Experience for a gift of just $200. That includes the private session, your story, and the hardcover book you'll get to keep, and more. Or choose the Premium Experience for a gift of just $400, half off the original amount. That includes bonus items from the Essential Experience, plus an engraved leather journal, your autographed teaching book, and a custom illustrated hardcover edition of your prophetic story made uniquely for you. Visit legendsofthewind.com now to place your order. Become a legend and discover the treasure hidden in your story.
So we are now having new opportunities for you guys, as you can see. Monday night shows are for free. We offer them on a weekly basis. We're just booked up for a long time. And there's a lot of demand for what we are offering. And so we wanted to let you guys know through this private session opportunity that we have 2 sessions additional per week on Thursdays. That you can go to our website. The description is in the link below. The link is in the description below, but you can check it out. In fact, we're going to have our first one happening on this Thursday at 8. The gentleman who wanted to order that premium thing, he said, I don't want it to be a private show. So he wants, a friend of mine named Bertrand, he wants to have it as a public show. So he wanted me to announce tonight that he is going to do that on Thursday at 8 o'clock Pacific time. And we wanted to bless people with these amazing creative ideas and a way of presenting it into a powerful experience. So consider doing that as well. These gifts could be like a birthday present, an anniversary, something special, something meaningful. These prophetic stories have illustrated book covers. My wife's an artist. She's done all sorts of designs for different people and paintings. And so these are some of the ideas that Alisha has come up with from someone's prophetic story. And it's so rich because everyone's story is so unique and different. And it's a great keepsake. It's something that you can hold on to and say, you know what, God sees me, and I can have a record of it. And these journals not only have the story, they also have questions that you can answer to basically unpack your hidden treasures of your story and have journaling with the Lord. So yeah, thank you. Joy, it has been an absolute pleasure meeting you tonight for the first time. Thank you for being my guest.
Thank you. Thank you so much for writing that story.
You're welcome. So don't hang up, but I want to thank everybody who's been in the chat watching the show live. Thank you, Jacqueline and Tom and my family and Alisha and Apanim. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you guys on the next show on Thursday at 8 o'clock with Bertrand, and we'll see you soon, and thanks. Have a good evening.